Video games are considered the youngest frontier for storytelling, second only to film and television. The two genres go hand in hand, and it's only been a matter of time before the film industry would try making films based on games, with mixed results. So that's when the fans come in. There have been tons of excellent fan-made films. I don't think I need to tell you about the fantastic Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog fan films. So how about we go over some of the more obscure fan films? In this video, I'll be going over the ones that I remember fondly from back in the day. This is a look at some nostalgic video game fan films. So if anybody's noticed by now, I enjoy Earthbound. It's probably one of my favorite RPGs. It took the usual tropes in fantasy JRPGs and turned them on their head by having the game take place in a modern day setting, at least for the time being, with a boy named Ness teaming up with 3 other kids to fight an evil alien named Gygus. At the time, it was considered a cult classic, and any cult classic has its diehard fans. Enter Robbie and Jeff Benson of Oopsie Movies, 2 brothers who decided to make their own Earthbound movie in 1995, but soon abandoned it since they were just children at the time, only to pick it back up a decade later in 2006. They made it in the style of what Oopsie refers to as a Sunday morning movie, which in layman's terms is just a movie slapped together on a Sunday morning following a sleepover. The film itself is a purposefully low-budget, poorly acted flick, though I feel like that kind of adds to the charm. Earthbound is by its nature an offbeat but still charming RPG, and Oopsie Films embodies the core of the game.
Hey, Apple Kid.
Oh, hi, Ness. I was up all night working, but the pencil eraser is finally ready. This machine will eradicate any pencil-shaped objects. Just be sure don't close to in just 1 second. This machine is just be sure not to. Here you go. It's yours now.
Though it's interesting to see the camera work and overall quality improve as they continued on with it. There are also some neat homages to Edgar Wright and Sam Raimi in a few scenes. Also, apparently Evil Dead exists in the Earthbound and Mother series. Toy told me so. The two got pretty far into the game's story, though they ended up dropping the movie around 2008, leaving it on a cliffhanger until a teaser trailer in 2009. Sadly, the film wouldn't be released until 2018, when Oopsie Movies streamed the entire Part 5 of Earthbound Saga on their Twitch channel. Sadly, I never got a chance to see it at the time, and there isn't any archived version still up on their Twitch. They planned on re-releasing it, but there hasn't been any word on it since 2018. But if I may turn the clock back a decade or so backwards to 2007, another group of fans were working on an Earthbound fan film that was released by the channel Ridgeway Films on YouTube in 2008, simply titled Earthbound. This version seemed like they were trying to put more effort into their film compared to the more guerrilla-style filmmaking of Earthbound Saga. Though from watching some of the later scenes back-to-back, looks like they were big fans of Earthbound Saga. So much that they blatantly reused jokes and dialogue.
Sure, I'll just go talk to Mr. Carpenter. Get the key. Plug it in. Open up. Get your teddy bear over there. Hit the road. We'll get out of here. Take a little walk. Might run into some bad guys. It's alright. I got it covered. Get some food maybe. Maybe some steaks. My mom makes some pretty good steaks. And we'll get back to Tucson. Alright, see you later.
Mr. Carpenter, get the key, plug it in, open up, get your teddy bear over there, hit the road, run into some bad guys. Okay, I got it covered. Bam! Maybe get some food later. Maybe some steak. Mmm. My mom makes some pretty good steaks. Mmm.
Which, honestly, I don't blame them for copying that scene. That scene has been living in my head rent-free for years now, and I'm so glad I was able to revisit it. Why? But despite that, I think that this version of Earthbound is a great movie in its own right. Special effects near the end were cheesy, but in a good way. Especially like the use of miniatures in the Magic Ant sequence, as well as the ties to Mother, the first game in the series. Something that isn't really canon, but it's a nice way of tying the plot points together, even if they weren't really meant to be. That said, you should check out both of these nods to one of gaming's most quirky RPGs. You won't be disappointed. The Fallout series has hosted an amazingly expansive world and fleshed out lore that, despite all the many missteps in the various games, it's always been a personal favorite for me. So, in 2011, a small studio in Los Angeles by the name of Wayside Digital created a mini-series set in the universe of Fallout New Vegas called Fallout Nuka Break. The plot follows a former vault dweller and Nuka-Cola addict by the name of Twig and his friends Scarlet and Ben the Ghoul, going on adventures through the wastelands. The locales are probably the best I've seen in a fan film of this scale. It's really easy to create post-apocalyptic environments on a budget, and Wayside does its best to really stretch the budget out. Even Ben's mask doesn't look too shabby. The only issue I really have with the series is the acting in the early season or section of the film. It isn't the best. It's clear that they have a lot of amateur actors, especially Twig's actor. He can play silly scenes well, but the more dramatic scenes, he just looks confused instead of fearful or shocked. Like right here, he watches his best friend get gunned down, and I understand he's probably been used to seeing violence and gore out in the waste, but come on, man. And the story itself is compelling, if not a bit predictable, and certain scenes aren't quite explained very well until later on in the series. I understand that's the point, they want you to kind of continue to watch, so they leave a lot of plot points just kind of up in the air and ambiguous until being revealed around the ending. But it managed to still compel me with the few twists that it had, especially regarding Scarlet's past. The series ended in 2015 with a pretty open-ended conclusion and 2 spin-off short films. But Wayside hasn't been available online since 2017, and their site isn't up and running anymore. The only thing I can speculate is that the CV lockdowns affected their productions heavily. Hopefully we can return to the waste again real soon. The Mario series has had an interesting history with film. In 1986, Super Mario Bros. Mission to Save Princess Peach was released. Although it wasn't completely true to the source material, it did do a great job characterizing the Mario Brothers in ways that are still shown today. Mario being the more outgoing and heroic type, while Luigi is more soft-spoken and not as brave. Also, he's obsessed with treasure for some reason here. The 90s live-action Mario movie was a complete mess, and it would take an entire video to properly explain why. From subpar acting to a completely different setting from the game, it felt like the writers and producers didn't know what to do with the movie and just went in whatever direction they did to create that monstrosity. Now we have a new Mario movie coming out as of this recording next year in 2023. But how did fans envision a Mario movie?
Game over, plumber.
Hold on, Luigi.
Right. Beatdown Boogie, a studio known for doing fan films based off of popular franchises with surprisingly high production values, blessed us with Mario Warfare in 2012. The film's actually supposed to be a prequel to the very first Super Mario game. It starts with Peach and her father attempting to flee the castle right when Bowser attacks with his army. She escapes, but the king stays to defend his kingdom. We then get a flashback that cuts a while earlier to Mario and Luigi, who are just regular plumbers that enlist into the Mushroom Kingdom's army. And from there, we get great action scene after great action scene. Seriously, the fight choreography is off the chain for a production of this size, and the acting isn't too bad either. Though it's hard to take intense scenes involving lighthearted Nintendo characters all that seriously, and that's nothing to do with the writing or the actors themselves, it's just because it's, Nintendo. I think the creators knew this, so they didn't shy away from inserting comedy whenever they could, be it from reference drops or from little quips said by the characters. It helps balance out the melodrama.
My meatball! Oh, I got him, Mario! You get the other one!
And a shout out to Gerard Kearney, the actor who played Luigi. I love how he could pull off the silliness of the character, but still be a force to be reckoned with. The series ended around 2014. Beatdown Boogie would continue to upload well-edited fan films until their last video, Santa Saves Snake and Ghost, in 2019. Though some of the actors from Mario Warfare would continue to work with Creative Force Films, another group of indie filmmakers, in 2021. Who knows, maybe we'll see them again once the official Mario movie is released. Maybe they'll do like a reunion or something. Who knows? Mainstream filmmakers have been trying to ride popular trends for years, sometimes making quality content, while most of the times they produce soulless trash that hardly captures the spirit of the source material. They've been doing it for years with superhero movies, and now they're trying to take another crack at it with games again. But I feel like when Hollywood fails, that's when the fans step in and really take things to the next level. They understand the pieces of media even better than the creators do sometimes, because they've grown up with whatever movie or game or franchise years, and it's become a part of them, and in a way it's more so the fans' project than just the original creators. Like, for example, Shigesato Itoi said that he didn't want to create any more Mother games and would give his blessing to the next Mother 4, and I feel like even though there never will be another Mother 4, there'll always be Mother games, or games that kind of embody the same spirit of that series, regardless if it's official or not. And that'll be the same for, I guess, any series, even if it never gets any official love or recognition. As long as there are passionate fans out there, there will always be quality fan content. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.